Welcome back to the Nameless College Football Show, where we don't have a name or graphics or big time sponsors, but we more than make up for it with entertainment, charisma, some knowledge, seasonal depression, and more. I'm your host, Brandon, as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, the captain of depression himself, Petey. Petey, how are you doing?
Unwell.
Yeah.
Speaking of seasonal depression, I think my seasonal depression is August through January, not so much of winter like most people.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say August through July. But no, the last part of the year, this is tough. Yeah. Especially starts getting dark early, and I just can't handle it. The weather.
Yeah. In January, I get to kind of disconnect from football, not have to think about it again until August. You know, just give myself refresh my mental health by taking away from misery.
See, you were talking about college football. I'd already blocked out what happened, but we will have to come back and address it because everyone saw the Gamecocks. But we have to start with the story that has swept the nation. Lane Kiffin made it official, left Ole Miss for LSU in one of the biggest shit shows I can remember. And it's like the perfect representation for everything that is both good and bad about the sport, which boils down essentially to the fact that everyone cares this much about a game where everyone's just running around on the field trying to tackle each other. And yet it matters so much. Everyone cares so much about this. And I question, since we're talking mental health, I question everyone's mental health. But also, you need to find enjoyment in things. So I don't know, passion is good, but you know, it's a very thin line between passion and psychosis.
It's a mental illness for sure. This is not healthy for anyone's state of mind at any means, no matter who you pull for.
No. So, first impressions on Lane leaving Ole Miss, even though I feel like we've had months to process it.
I have a real hard time coming to terms with somebody that's going to leave a team that is in the playoffs for another team that wasn't even close. Now, obviously, he thinks he can fix that.
Yeah. But
you've already built something worthwhile there. I mean, you're in the playoffs. You're going to have a chance to win a national championship. Leaving for something that is kind of you have to do a lot more work to get to that same level. Now you probably can do that. It's LSU. There's more resources. It's probably going to happen, but just seems like also you're not going to get the chance to coach Ole Miss here in the playoffs. So, which I understand Ole Miss's standpoint on that. You know, they don't want him recruiting players to go to LSU next year, which I would say that's going to happen regardless. But it is what it is. This was a complete shit show of a topic for I feel like this has been on for like 2 months now.
It's been forever. Probably since Brian Kelly was fired. I feel like we've been building to this.
Yeah, and then I guess Napier getting fired and then Florida going after Kiffin. It made sense kind of, but I don't think it was really ever in the running. I think Kiffin probably should have done them a favor and said, and not coming there a lot sooner. But this has never happened before that I can remember. Any kind of like circus like this. It's never been anything to this level.
And I think that the way it's gone down is one of the factors at play here in terms of Ole Miss not wanting him to coach. Like, obviously, you're going to a conference rival. So,
right. Yeah.
I after thinking about it, I understand, like you said, why they would not want him to coach during the playoffs. Like, there's just too many reasons not to do it. I do think the way it was handled is a huge one.
Yeah.
And I going back to what you said about leaving a team that's in the playoff to go coach a team that has been struggling recently, that is the most confusing part, especially since it doesn't feel like being a quote unquote blue blood really matters anymore in college football. So you do get more resources at LSU, but the teams that are making it happen this year and in recent years, you do have your Bamas that are still in the mix and everything. But I mean, Indiana, if Indiana can do it, anybody can do it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, also one thing I was like, if you're Ole Miss, this is your best chance to win a national championship, and you're willing to sacrifice that chance by not having Kiffin coach you for the next 2-3 games, depending on how playoffs go. And if I was an Ole Miss fan, I would sacrifice those potential players that are going to leave at the end of the year for a chance at a natty. You might not. I mean, Ole Miss has not had an opportunity like this in 50 years.
Yeah. I think so. I had to do some really tough imagination work to work through this scenario, in that I had to pretend that Shane Beamer got the Gamecocks into the playoffs, which was almost impossible for me to do. I had to eat my body weight in mushrooms almost to pull it off. And then on the eve of the playoffs, he leaves us to go coach Virginia Tech. Would I want Beamer continuing to coach us throughout the playoffs? And this is tough too, because I'm on the record as hating Shane Beamer.
Yeah. We'll just do some time warp and just say it's Steve Spurrier in a different, in today's world, I guess.
Yeah, I probably get closer to saying yes with Spurrier, who, as we've talked about, is pretty comparable to Lane in many ways.
Yeah.
But man, I would probably be willing to sacrifice the national championship in the name of pettiness, because it would be Ole Miss's first national championship, but it also would be Lane's first as a head coach. And so if I could stop him from winning, then that in a way would feel like a win for me, especially if I'm so used to losing. And I think that something about that negative consequence where, like, okay, I don't get something good, but I can prevent someone else from getting something good as well. That is the backbone of America. That's how we got Trump in office. Okay, I could use social safety nets, but not if minorities get them. So I will suffer so that minorities can suffer. And that is what has made America great again.
Oh, we are certainly great, without question.
We're thriving.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, the only way Ole Miss comes out looking good in this is if they go out and win a national championship without him.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Yeah, because I think we've all resigned that they're not going to win it without him. But there's still a chance they can still do it. They did immediately hire Golding, which he's a good defensive coordinator. We don't know who's going to be calling plays now for Ole Miss.
Yeah,
on offense. So there's a big question mark. I would assume it's probably going to be like a little more watered down version of their offense, which might be enough to get them through. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on who they have to actually face in the playoffs.
So I guess the flip side of this conversation is, how likely were they to win the national championship with a Lane Kiffin who is already out the door coaching them? because we saw this when he was at Bama as an offensive coordinator and Saban sent him home, which is very funny because Saban was arguing in favor of Lane continuing to coach on game day this past weekend. But he did it for you, and you said he couldn't do it. You sent him home in between the semifinals and the national championship game because he was so distracted. So, like, is there chance of winning that much different without Lane Kiffin, especially when Lane's reasoning for leaving is resources to win a national championship, which to me tells me you don't really think you can do it at Ole Miss. And if it's telling me that, is it telling the players the same thing? Are they going to get up to play for a coach who feels that way? There's all these different factors. So what's the real difference, I guess, is where I'm at with it between Lane versus no Lane for Ole Miss.
It's probably negligible. The only way that this would have been different is if Lane just said, "I'm not giving y'all a decision until February."
Yeah.
And even then, it still would have been a little bit up in the air, but it might have quelled the hype and stuff around the situation in the meantime. But the transfer portal opens up. Is it next week?
Yeah.
So you're going to have to start getting out there and recruiting immediately. Which is one thing we should fix. The transfer portal being in December is fucking ridiculous.
It's so funny because this is the one aspect of academics that the NCAA holds on to. They want it there. Like, we got to keep the transfer portal in between semesters so we don't mess up their schoolwork while we're flying them from California to Maryland to play in a softball game on a Tuesday. Like, what are we doing?
I was thinking about this the other day, and when was the last time you heard about a player being out due to academic performance? I feel like it was like 2007.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The last time I could remember was I think it was like Georgia Tech, and I think it was when they had Deshard Choice, and I can't remember who that quarterback they had at the same time was. But they had like 2 or 3 players out of their bowl game because of academic reasons. So I feel like once NIL and transfer portal all became thing, we got rid of all the academic rules.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're holding on to this one aspect of it to pretend that this is not professional sports. Like, this is certainly a version of professional sports.
Yeah.
Why not just shift the window to mid-semester? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why are you doing this? Because this did cause a huge issue.
Or just have one transfer portal and then have it be after the end of spring ball or after spring semester ends.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That would make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, with the way things are set up, if you truly don't want to, if you care this much about their schoolwork, then just do that. Like, we don't need 73 transfer portals.
And a regular student, obviously they can transfer schools in between, winter or fall and spring semester, but that's very rare.
Yeah.
Most people are transferring during the summer.
Yeah. 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 It's just a weird setup. I also wonder with Lane if he truly wanted to coach the playoffs, why not just stay? Because who would LSU get if not Lane Kiffin? Who are they hiring?
That's true.
Someone who's going to get fired in 4 years?
Could have gone for Golish. There was a couple guys out there, but I guess Franklin was already done.
Yeah, he was at Virginia Tech, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's not a. They would have been taking a risk on somebody regardless.
Yeah, so why not just try to win the national championship here, and then down the road make the jump to LSU or Bama. The rumor is he really wants the Bama job at some point. Like, why not just stay put? I would just stay put and try to win it here. I mean, like,
you're already where we started. You're already at the threshold.
Yeah. So,
I mean, and it's not like you're. I mean, he's been right there at the cusp every year, except for maybe his first. So he clearly can get there. It's just maybe he just doesn't want to live in Oxford, Mississippi.
That could be the case.
I don't know if Baton Rouge is any better, honestly. I mean, it's like 2 hours from New Orleans, but I mean, no one goes on vacation in Baton Rouge that I'm aware of.
I know of, yeah. All right, we opened up the show discussing mental health, and we discussed mental health pre-show.
Yeah, we had a little
full transparency session. So now it's time to psychoanalyze Lane Kiffin, specifically using some of the rumors that have come out after he's made this move. We're going to avoid the rumors that could get us sued.
Yeah, I don't have
But I do. Yeah, I have nothing. You please don't take my nothing away from me. But I do want to talk about some of the other rumors, starting off with the fact that he built up this dog, Juice Kiffin, in this way that Herb Street built up his own dog. Now it comes out that he did a poor job at taking care of Juice, and so Juice actually stays at the, I don't know if it's a boarding facility or a breeder. It might be the breeder. Yeah. He's got a handler, doesn't even live with Lane, and probably won't be going to Baton Rouge with him. How sick are you to pretend to own a dog?
I mean, this is incredibly fucked up. As a dog lover and owner, but I do feel like this makes you a great football coach because you don't have time to take care of a dog.
That's
also,
true.
He doesn't have time to take care of his family or anything else, apparently.
Nothing.
So it's only football, which is great for a football coach, not great for a person. Like, not a real person.
No, you definitely.
So yeah, he should have never had a dog to begin with.
Correct.
And I hope he doesn't ever. I don't want to see him with one ever again.
Agreed. Yeah, you've burned up that card. You can't use that one again.
He's already got the job, so fine. But now we can send Juice on to someone who wants to be friends with him.
Yep, I agree. The other rumors that have gotten out, we famously talked about, I think around the time of the Georgia game, his obsession with hot yoga. He was doing hot yoga. Well, turns out the women in his hot yoga class hate Lane Kiffin. They are happy to see him go. I fell into a TikTok loop of videos from these people, and the comments are unreal with their complaints. I will read some of them to you, and we will try to see if we can get a clearer picture of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
One session, he was next to me and poured all his water on himself. His mat was a pool, and he was splashing around the rest of the class. These are all alleged. These are allegations. None of these have been proven. But that was crazy. Pour your water on, like, this is an indoor hot yoga class. It's not a pool.
You're just
hot water
turn
aerobics.
your pad into a sponge.
Yeah. Like, the noises alone would give me the ick. He also would tell the instructor every morning how much he hated her playlist for hot yoga. Maybe just go to a different class.
Find a different teacher.
This one is good. One time he slipped a fart out and blamed it on the girl next to him.
Okay, that's funny.
Yes.
I like that. That one's fine.
Gonna miss him pushing me over every time I was in a plank and he wasn't doing anything but annoying everyone around him.
Okay, he's the class cut up.
Yeah, apparently turning up the humidity whenever he pleases.
I didn't know you could do that.
Me either. Coming in 5 minutes late and leaving 20 minutes early. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is like this video has 600 comments, and I'd say a solid 25% of them are Lane Kiffin yoga class complaints. The other 75% are people commenting on the complaints. But
where were these complaints when this came out? Months ago, or the whole hot yoga thing came out months ago.
This has been interesting to observe. All the rumors come out from Ole Miss people after the fact. So you were fine with it when he was farting in your yoga class,
winning your games.
Yes, but now it's a problem. So that does kind of take the, pun intended, the wind out of the sails for your complaints if you're holding on to them until after he makes you mad. But this is a lot of stuff for one man to be doing in a hot yoga class. I will admit that.
Yeah.
I was suspicious when he was doing hot yoga because that's one of those classes that women just dominate. Like hot yoga.
Oh yeah, I mean they're much more better built for that than men.
Yeah.
As someone who has done it myself, it's not a. It's one of the hardest things physically things that I've done.
And would you then annoy all of your classmates in the class?
No, I just spent the whole time trying not to die. Like it's
that is correct.
And not to fall over and hit someone.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've been in some crowded classes, but I did not ever want to have the attention put on me for any reason. One thing that really annoyed me about yoga classes was like the from the random people around you. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I haven't taken a hot yoga, but I've taken a bar class. Like, I've never hurt as badly as I did after taking a bar class, which is like a combination of like ballet stuff and some Pilates stuff. It is terrible. And the women are doing it like it's nothing. And I'm over there shaking and sweating. And you're right. Like, for a normal person, I think when you're in that situation, the goal is to get through the class completely unnoticed.
Yes.
So if you're someone seeking attention during this class, I do have to think maybe something is broken inside of you.
It seems like he just needs to have attention at all times, which is fine for a football coach. Not so much for a regular human being.
Makes you a terrible person.
Yeah.
I was reading about how he got into coaching in the first place. And obviously his dad was a huge defensive coordinator, but he was David Carr's backup at Fresno State. He was backup quarterback.
I did not even know Kiffin. I mean, I assumed he played, but I did not know anything about his playing career at all.
So he showed up to practice one day. David Carr told the story to like Sports Illustrated not too long ago. He showed up to practice. They were supposed to be dressed out and like doing things. He showed up in a t-shirt and shorts. And I think Jeff Tedford was the offensive coordinator maybe. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And Lane told him, he said, "Oh, well, you're giving all my snaps to David, so I figured I didn't need to wear pads. I could just stand and watch." And that did not go over very well. And Lane said, "All right, well, I quit," and left. And then David said he came back out in a polo shirt and like khakis. And he was like, "What are you doing?" And Lane was like, oh, they called my dad and he told me I couldn't quit. And I said, well, then, okay, if I can't quit, then just let me coach. And so I'm the assistant wide receivers coach or something ridiculous like that. just like someone who is just unnecessarily an asshole, but never is.
Guy has been a piece of shit all of his life.
Yes. Yeah, just like, oh, I just do what I want. It's fine.
I mean, it's hilarious. It's not like Brian Kelly piece of shit.
No, it's a different brand.
It's just like, yeah, it's funny, but I mean, obviously you don't want to be around this person in real life, but fuck if they win you football games.
Yes. It seems very on brand for a football coach. I feel like if you're a successful football coach, you are probably somewhere around this type of yes.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, like when I'm looking at him in this documentary and then talking to Marty Smith, who looked like he'd aged 30 years. He looked like he'd been president waiting to get this Lane Kiffin news. And then even at the LSU press conference, and I look at Lane Kiffin and I don't know if I see a man who is happy.
I don't see happiness out of Lane. I see a person who is unhappy but thinks that by winning football games will make him happy and just is going to fuck with people's lives for the amusement of it.
Yeah, like I do think like there's one thing to be ambitious. It's another thing to be chasing something you're never going to get, to fill some sort of emptiness within you. And if some of these other rumors are true, and you kind of see it in the documentary where I recognize I was an asshole back then, but I'm different now. Well, the only difference now is that you seem to be aware that you are an asshole, but you have just overlooked that to do whatever you want once again.
That's one of the steps of becoming a better person, is realizing you're an asshole. The next step is changing those things, but as we've seen, that he's just got better at hiding them probably until he wants another job.
Yes. And I think that is not conducive to happiness. I think that knowing you suck and then having to hide the fact that you suck, but that's probably the biggest difference between him is he was just an unapologetic asshole back in the day. Like he was just, I'm an asshole, deal with it. But now he has enough self-awareness to know, oh, this is bad, but he's not doing anything about it. He's just going to be an asshole regardless. Yeah.
And he's mixing in some funny one-liners in there too. So
he's amusing.
Funny about it. It makes it a little bit easier to digest and tolerable to the public. So as long as you're not like breaking any laws, killing people like Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like, just like it, like not evil.
Yeah.
You can be diabolical.
Yeah.
But not like true incarnate of Satan.
No, yeah. You should avoid that. So I don't know. Just Lane Kiffin. It's funny too. Everyone coming out upset and like, you can't be like this, but you totally can. Like you absolutely can be like this. Lane Kiffin is proof you can be like this. Lane Kiffin's only ever been like this. And he just keeps getting better and better jobs. That's just what college football is.
Yeah. Well, he had this 15 years ago? He had this meteoric failing upward momentum.
Yes.
And ended up at the Raiders and then had this crashing down, failure, and then ends up with Saban and then rehabs his image, goes to be head coach at FAU, and then gets the Ole Miss job because, he was doing good.
Yep.
And Ole Miss was not a school anybody really wanted to go play or coach for.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, he's a good coach, regardless of all this other shit that goes along with it, which I can understand. A good coach is going to be a shit person.
And that's what it comes down to. Like, does an athletic director think you're a good coach or not? And I guess I'm tired of everyone pretending like they are good people or that they care about hiring good people. Because we just saw it. Michigan State just hired Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And he got fired at Northwestern because he was aware of hazing. And it was like the weird hazing where they get like sexual with it too. And he was aware of it. Didn't do anything about it. Encouraged it in some instances. Northwestern fired him. Michigan State, who just fired Mel Tucker because he was...
I can't remember what. It was not good.
He was sexually harassing. Mel Tucker sexually harassed a woman who came to speak to his team about not raping women.
Yeah.
That's who he sexually harassed. And so you just get rid of this guy to bring on Pat Fitzgerald, and you only do that because you're tired of losing football games.
Yeah. And then what was Durkin?
Yep. He's letting the kid die at practice.
Yep.
And then he's getting the interim job at Auburn for Hugh Freeze.
He had
a complete asshole.
Like they were considering him as, as not just being interim, as being the guy going forward.
Yeah.
He was winning games at Maryland.
Yep. And it's like that, like Art Briles, who we talked about, like he's coaching D2 again. Like, why are we still doing this where we are pretending that being a good person matters? I don't understand that.
It doesn't matter. It just, if you get caught being not good a person, you get to go away for a couple of years, and then or bump down to a lower league for a couple of years, and then you're going to make your way back up. Because I mean, Hugh Freeze, same thing. You just got to go rehab your image. People have to forget about you for a year or two while you go play for or coach a D2 or a FCS school, and then you can come back up.
Yep. It's just so funny. We always just do this weird, like, oh, well, a leader of men, morally upstanding. Like, no. Just say
that's all bullshit.
You're tired of losing football games.
Yeah.
And so this man, he could murder someone on the field. It would be fine so long as he had just won a national championship. So that's my big college coaching rant of the week.
Like Ed Orgeron was doing some fucked up shit too, but it wasn't a problem until he was winning games. And
it's never a problem until you lose. It's never a problem because you can't tell me. So Mel Tucker started doing the Mel Tucker stuff at the same time he was losing. No, Mel Tucker almost certainly was doing it before.
Yeah.
But then they were like, oh, Mel Tucker actually sucks and we owe him a lot of money. Can we get out of paying him that money?
Right. They just put that in their back pocket as like a clause to get out of paying, which they tried to do with Brian Kelly, which is apparently not working out for him.
No, it's not. So Lane probably saw that and was like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want and still have to get paid. Let's do it. I'll be there tomorrow. Tell Marty Smith, meet me at the airport. So I don't know. College football is crazy. So, all right, we will talk about last week's games in the context of the only poll that matters, the Captain Petey playoff picture. This is the last one heading into championship week. Should not be too many surprises, but number one,
Ohio State.
Yes. Number two,
Indiana.
Correct. Number three,
Georgia.
That was a disappointing showing again from Georgia Tech, I feel.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
I mean, just the ACC is hilarious as a conference.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But what do you expect?
Am artist.
Yeah. So
need to be in jail. Okay. I guess. Number four.
Ole Ole Miss. Even though Kiffin is not going to be coaching them, I still think I'm going to go on their body of work. We'll see what happens, week 1 of playoffs. But based on their body of work, I think they're the number 4 team.
I agree with that. Yeah. I see people comparing it to FSU and Jordan Travis when he got hurt.
Yeah, but Jordan Travis was a player, not a coach.
Exactly. And we saw how Florida State looked without him, and they looked terrible.
Yeah.
So
we saw them play like 2 games, and we realized because they were going into like overtime, like 13 points.
It was disgusting.
In the ACC championship game, I think, against Louisville, and both teams didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, it was really bad. So number 5,
Oregon.
Yeah, I still don't know how to feel about them, but I do think that's fair.
I don't. No. They've not beaten anyone worth talking about, but based on records is what we're going to go with here.
Yeah, it's getting tough. Number 6,
Alabama.
So this is weird.
Yeah,
but I think the Kalen DeBoer experiment kind of a failure. I think he's not an SEC football coach.
It's hard to tell. Is it him or is it having to play in this new world of the SEC?
Yeah, because I think he could be successful at like Big Ten.
Yeah, we're just not going to get like teams in the SEC that don't have 3 losses anymore because the schedule is absolutely
brutal,
a gauntlet, and you're not allowed to just like stockpile talent anymore like Saban was doing.
Yeah.
So and like it was always either Georgia or Alabama that was going to come out of the SEC. Because they had 5 stars behind 5 stars. And with NIL, you're just not doing that anymore. So I don't think Kalen DeBoer is a bad coach. I don't think he's a top tier echelon coach. You're just coaching at Alabama is what it is.
Yeah, I think he does. He feels like a good coach, but I do think it's just not in this conference. So we'll see. Number 7.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, the Big 12.
The only good team in the Big 12.
Yeah. Who knows what's going on there? But okay, number 8.
Texas A&M.
One of the funniest games. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this game because Texas A&M just did what they're gonna do.
Yeah. They have like 2 weeks in a row. I guess maybe 3. I can't remember who they played after Gamecocks. But they just, they tried to shit the bed. And they did shit the bed against us for, 2 quarters.
Yeah. If we were a real team, buddy, they would have been in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they just decided to come out against and let Texas beat them. And Arch Manning is not anything fantastic. I don't know. Maybe they just got tired of winning. Maybe they didn't want a first round bye. Is what it was.
Yeah, they want to keep playing, keep the rhythm going. Yeah, that was the story of the game for me. Was how Arch Manning looks playing quarterback, and it's not great. Like his best asset is his legs, which seems crazy, being a Manning, but throwing the ball, you don't really know what you're going to get. Like sometimes he can throw some dimes and then he can throw it to the other team or to the stands or wherever.
And Texas is awful when it comes like when they do not get any rush yards, they are awful. And they just were able to put it in the ground against A&M, and Arch did not have to force anything.
Yep. So I don't know. Do you?
They still have a stellar defense at Texas. That's never changed. It's just been, the offense.
I know Sark was making the playoff case for Texas. Where are you at with that?
No.
Agreed.
I don't want to see it. I thought we were done with that. And that's the reason why I did not want A&M to lose this game, because I did not want anybody to try and make that correlation that Texas was good enough to be a playoff team.
Yeah, you can't do it. Like, I love the SEC as much as anybody, but you can't lose to the Florida team they lost to. You can't look how they looked against Georgia. Probably should have lost against Vandy. But 3 losses in the playoffs is crazy. Get out of here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
Especially this year. Like, you got so many teams out there that are more qualified.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 9.
All right. So this is my opinion of who should be at number 9. Not who I think the committee's going to put at number 9. Vanderbilt. But
that was a hell of a win.
Yeah, a hell of a win against a ranked team. Tennessee has taken a lot of good teams to the wire. They do not look as they're not a playoff team like they were last year. But Oklahoma is the other team that, for some reason, the committee is overvaluing Oklahoma.
Yeah,
they have a win against Alabama, but they looked like crap for most of the season.
Yeah.
And they barely beat LSU. And they have they have got a great defense, but they have no offense.
Yeah, they are just disgusting to watch. Yeah. I agree.
I can't imagine putting Oklahoma in the playoffs over Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's resume is, if you watch these teams play, you see that these are 2 different, obviously the Vanderbilt is a better, more well-rounded team and just is hard to stop. Pavia is going to hurt you some way.
Yeah, even with the 2 picks.
The first quarter, you're like, if Vanderbilt would just stop throwing picks, they'd be winning this game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. And that was beat them by 3 touchdowns. That's Tennessee's worst loss this season. They've lost to Oklahoma and Georgia. But
I think Georgia was about 2 or something like that.
Yep, Pavia just put it on him. I will say, I think I'm out on Diego Pavia. I think he reminds me, it seems like he's doing a very bad Johnny Manziel impression with his personality. And getting on my nerves.
A little bit of the air has gone to his head.
You saw his brother got arrested at the game.
Yeah. Did you see his mom was in the stands too again?
Flashing titties and whatnot. It's like, damn, what is going on here? Get a grip. But I think I'm just. It was fun at first, but I think it's run its course. The more you think about how long he's been playing college football, the stuff he does on social media, I just can't. I'm very close to rooting against him. As much as I want to see Vandy do well, because I think that's a nice story.
Yeah,
he's starting to get on my nerves, and I need him to shut the fuck up.
I think we do this whole thing where we find the diamond in the rough and then hype it up so much over the course of the year to by the time the end of the year comes around, you're just sick of hearing about him.
That is probably what is at play here. Yeah. Just overexposure to them. Whew.
Yeah, obviously, we didn't hate him for the first 7 years he was playing college football.
No. But now we're getting there. So,
yeah.
All right, number 10.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They're going to be there because.
Just that simple. Number 11.
What I think will happen.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
Is that UVA is going to beat Duke in the ACC championship game and they will take the 11th spot. But would be the most hilarious thing to happen is if Duke wins and the ACC gets bypassed altogether.
Which is what deserves to happen to that conference.
Yeah, because that conference is garbage.
Yep.
What are we even They should have all of their media rights taken away. We shouldn't even be putting them on television because no one wants to watch any of this crap. But I think for some reason Virginia just decides that they're going to win games in overtime or by 2 points. So they have also. What's amazing about this conference, there's 5 teams that had a chance to get in. All they had to do was not lose. But it's because they all didn't play each other.
Yes.
When you have 37 teams in a conference, they can't all play each other. So it's just, really, we need to either get rid of some of them or have a playoff to the conference championship game.
Yes. This is become like just too evident here that where the conferences are just too fucking big. It makes no sense. You can't even gauge within a conference who the best team is. Like, we've taken a sport where it was already hard enough figuring out who the best teams were, to the point like it used to be we let the voters decide. Then we had computers doing it. And I do miss the BCS. Yeah. And then now we've got a playoff committee for the nation. And now we've taken that national problem and we've just applied it to each conference to where, like, who's the best team in the ACC? Yeah. Who's the best team in the Big Ten? Like, thankfully, we're going to find out the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the ACC, you got 47 schools. They all are completely identical.
Well, the ACC just went and just... So the Big 12 stole all the good teams. I mean, not Big 12. Big 10 stole all the good teams from the smaller conferences. And then the ACC was just, just go give us all of your 0-5 teams from these conferences, and we'll put them in our conference because we need viewership on the West Coast for some reason.
Yes.
And just make a super conference of garbage.
Yes. Very stupid. Number 12.
I think it's going to be JMU.
Yeah, who just lost their head coach. Although I think he will be coaching through whatever happens.
Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he handled it better, and it's a move that makes sense. You're going from JMU to UCLA. It's going to make sense monetarily, at least. I probably would stay at JMU.
I think I would rather be at JMU than UCLA.
Yes.
But, yeah, it is,
That's college football.
Making a decision, he is. So.
Nope. So we don't even really have to do the most interesting, exciting, best. Let's just talk about some of the games. Any important notes you want to touch on with these conference championship games, starting with the SEC championship, Bama, Georgia. What are your general thoughts on that?
I think Bama and Georgia, it's gonna be a good game. I think, and unless one of these teams get blown out, both of them are getting to the playoffs somehow.
Yep.
And if Alabama loses by like 10 points, maybe they might get bumped out. I don't know who you put in there. Hopefully not Texas, but I think you can't make a case against them at this point. And the committee did last year. They said, well, we're not changing anything based on conference championship weekend, which I think was stupid. But that's how we got SMU in there last year. Yeah. Ohio State and Indiana. Obviously, if either one of them lose, they're still getting in. I think Ohio State will win, but I think it's going to be tough. This is going to be the first hard game for Ohio State this year. So depending on, they're not used to getting hit in the mouth, I don't think. So I don't know what their reaction is going to be, but we'll see.
Yeah, because they looked like for a little bit there they didn't want to beat Michigan again, and that was going to be really funny. And in both these games so far, so Georgia gets to play in Mercedes-Benz, and they are favored by 2.5. But ESPN, their little analytics has Bama winning, so that one will probably be a close
Alabama
one.
did not look good against Auburn.
No, they didn't. That's what I was like. They always play Auburn close, like rivalry game, whatever. But that was the game. Just the way they were playing, I was like, DeBoer, you've shown me enough where I don't believe in you.
They were up 17-0, and then let Auburn come back and tie it up at 20.
Can't do that. If Cam Newton's not on the other side, you can't do that.
It's like you've been saying, earlier, like you don't know how much you trust Ty Simpson, and I don't know how much I trust him either. But I thought he had played pretty well most of the year, but he's not like a Heisman like caliber quarterback.
No.
So
no. And then Big Ten Championship is played in Indianapolis, Indiana. Ohio State is favored by 4.5, but again, ESPN Analytics is favoring Indiana.
I think Cignetti is the better coach. So depending on Ohio State has better talent, but I don't trust Ryan Day very much.
Yeah. So we will see. Big 12 Championship, Texas Tech and BYU, a rematch from when both teams looked terrible in the first time they played, but BYU won very easily. So they're doing it again in Texas, and
Texas Tech won easily.
Yeah, they're favored by 12.5 points. I can't imagine that going any differently. I know BYU's coach, I keep checking to see, but he is still there. He is the top contender for the Penn State job, but the CEO of Crumble Cookie, big Mormon BYU guy, has thrown his name into the mix on Twitter as raising money to keep him at BYU. So if you want to keep BYU's coach there, you go buy some Crumble Cookies, I suppose.
All right.
This is college football is just the craziest fucking thing.
Yeah.
We got the cookie man trying to influence coaching searches. It's beautiful. So,
yeah.
All right. And ACC channel, God. ACC championship game. Duke, Virginia. Virginia favored by 3.5.
What is Duke's record? I think are they 6-6 or something like that? Or
they are 7-5, taking on the mighty 7-5 Duke Blue Devils.
God, ACC, y'all have got to get your shit together. If you do this next year, y'all gonna be like bumped out.
Duke has lost to Connecticut and Tulane this year, which are good teams.
Yeah,
but I can't think of any other conference, a Power 4 conference, where a team could lose to two Group of 5 opponents and make their conference championship game.
Well, I mean,
Virginia's only favored by 3.5.
UConn is independent too.
Yes,
they don't have any of that media money.
I can't imagine. If you watch that game, let me know how it goes, because anyone listening, anyone watching.
I have a UConn in my in our draft league this year. So they've done me very well. So I'm pulling for them. But I mean, they don't have any more games to play. But
no. But they did do well for you. I'm probably not going to win my division in that one. But I will not be watching the ACC championship game. I'm going to tell everyone that right now. So
you don't want to torture yourself.
I got enough going on.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The AAC championship game, North Texas, and the aforementioned Tulane. This one's in New Orleans, so that's a home game for Tulane.
Yeah, Texas Tech. North Texas is favored by 2.5 points. Either one of these teams have a chance to get into the playoff, depending on what JMU does against Troy. But Troy is a 23.5 point dog to JMU, so I doubt that's going to happen. I think that JMU is the favorite to get in, take that final playoff spot.
North Texas, underrated, fun team to watch. They've got just the one loss on the season to South Florida. They got a freshman quarterback who has thrown for 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. He threw for 600 yards against Charlotte.
Damn. That's more than
I love that. Yeah, that game alone would make him South Carolina's leading passer probably. That is incredible. So, yeah, I will be watching that, the American Athletic Championship, not the ACC championship game. I'm trying to see what's the over-under. I bet they're going to put up
2.5.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
over-under. Sorry, no.
66.5 is the over-under.
Oh, I
So
think over on that.
that is crazy. Just for if you don't know, that's combined points. I don't gamble, but I like to judge like how much of an offensive explosion it's going to be.
Yeah.
BYU, Texas Tech, 50.5. Georgia, Bama, 47.5, 48.5. Indiana and Ohio State. So 2 more touchdowns at least going to happen in this game, and I believe it. So should be fun. And then, as you mentioned, the Sun Belt, JMU, huge favorite against Troy.
Yeah. Barring a huge upset, JMU gets into the playoffs, and then if Duke wins, then either Tulane or North Texas gets in. Seems like.
I'd rather see that. I'd rather see like a potential Cinderella team, even if they get blown out, because even like if Virginia gets in, they're probably getting blown out. I'd rather see a team that doesn't get a lot of national love get blown out than Virginia.
Yeah. I'd rather not see any ACC school.
That's the way.
The only one you could make a case for is Miami.
Yeah.
Like they might be okay, but they've lost enough. Sorry, Oslo is trying to get in my lap. They've lost so much credibility by their absolutely terrible performances. Even though they've won up against Notre Dame, and like they just don't have any like the rest of the resume is garbage.
Yep. That is not a championship football team. So
yeah.
All right. Do you hear that noise? Is that the sound of sweet relief?
Sweet relief.
That's right. It is the final version of the Gamecocks football captain's log of what has been a terrible Gamecocks football season. Petey, oh my gosh.
It's finally
lost to Clemson, 2 touchdowns. I mean, what can you say about this team?
Thinking back to the beginning of the year, we didn't have high hopes for this season.
No.
But we didn't think it was going to be this terrible. We thought we would lose a lot of like closer games to the like Oklahomas, Alabamas, LSU. But I didn't think that we would look like garbage the entire year. And it's really just, proven even more so that we need a change at coaching, even though it shouldn't be this year. I've gone on record many times saying we don't need to fire him this year, but and barring a national championship or an SEC appearance in the championship game, what are we doing with Beamer? Because this is not. I mean, we're last in everything.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Not just in the SEC, but in like the country.
Earth. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how we look.
Yeah.
This is a terrible. This Clemson team. This was their worst defense in forever.
This is the worst Clemson team I can remember of ever playing.
Yep, they gave up 46 points to Duke, and we scored 2 touchdowns against them.
Yeah.
This was awful. This was an awful game to watch. The post-game press conferences just pissed me off completely.
That's always been the case with Beamer at least.
Yeah, Beamer is a joke. He's talking about, well, this time next year we're going to be talking about how this game has playoff implications and this, that, and the other. Shut up. Shut up.
Not unless we have a dramatic change. And I doubt, because we've looked so terrible, I don't know how we get any players to come play here. Who wants to go play for a losing team? It's like asking somebody to go from the Patriots to the Browns.
Yes. This was the problem with the press conferences. You're trying to convince me that Beamer can get talent in the building when the players who are already in the building were I've never seen anyone less enthusiastic about committing to coming back next year than the players they were talking to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, do they not do media training to at least teach the players to lie to us?
Probably not.
Like Lenora Sellers, he can go ahead and leave if
Fine.
this is his attitude, the way that he's playing with the NIL money he's getting, and he's like smirking and doing all this bullshit after losing to Clemson. Well, then just go somewhere else, big dog, and hopefully you reach your potential there. You're not going to reach it here, unfortunately. That's not your fault. But just I want college kids to get paid, but they have to care as well. That should be part of the deal. You have to care about what's going on. Enough of this. Give them contracts, lock them in, but you have to care. Same, Jalen Kilgore did the same thing, and I know they're considering not just transferring, but also going into the draft. But
which would be insane. Like if you want to go like Sellers, if he wants to go to the draft, fine. You're not going to get drafted. If you got drafted, I would be astonished because
it would be tough.
On for this season has been absolute garbage.
Yes. Yes.
Fuck. Even like Nick Harbor too. Even
there's just no development.
Learn to catch a fucking football.
Yes. Led to a pick six, and then on the sideline after the pick six, Sellers is smirking, even though that ended the game. We were allegedly going to drive to tie it, but I mean we weren't going to ever do that.
Ever. So good luck with that. But yeah.
No. So I don't know, just something about if you're selling me on Beamer being this great motivator who players love and he's this great recruiter and that's why we're keeping him, then why are the kids who are here, why do they not seem to care about playing football at the University of South Carolina? That doesn't make any sense.
Like I'm totally out on Beamer. Just
yep.
You have teens clamoring over Kiffin when it's obvious that he is not a good person.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer is the nicest motherfucker you will ever meet, probably.
Yeah.
Do not want him as a football coach.
No.
Don't give a shit how nice you are. You got to be a little bit evil.
Yeah, I bet he takes great care of his dog.
Yeah.
But he can't win football games. And he's out there.
Wife, great relationship with his kids. Fine. Great family man.
The stuff with Dabo. The stuff with him and Dabo before the game, and they're hugging and talking about how such great friends they are. No.
And you're
both coach with Dabo.
At the bottom of the barrel as far as like your conferences are concerned.
Yeah, like enough of that.
It's not company you want.
What is the number for next season? What's the number of games that saves his job? The number of wins?
Well,
I mean, we went over the schedule. The schedule is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be in order to save he's got to win 8 games to save his job.
Yep. I was thinking 8 or 9 seems like you're asking too much, but it's got to be 8. If it's anything less than 8, you got to go.
We got to see some kind of massive improvement.
Yeah. And this whole up and down thing that we do.
Yeah.
Enough of it. I cannot take this.
And we are not doing much of anything as far as like getting a offensive coordinator.
No, thought we had the ECU
not
one.
Done shit for fixing the offensive line.
No, so we thought we were getting the ECU one, but he appears to be looking at Ole Miss and Virginia Tech now. I think Old Dominion.
Tech, if I was him.
Yeah, I think Old Dominion is in the mix. I don't know. There's a couple of guys in the. Let's see. Brett, our insider, said Pitt and ODU.
Yeah. I wouldn't want Pitt guy, but Pitt doesn't win anything either.
No. So I don't know.
What about the North Texas guy? Where's he going?
That's a great question. I just don't know how you lure a great offensive coordinator and recruits here when it seems like everyone's aware of the fact that Beamer has to knock it out of the park next year to not get fired.
Yeah.
So why would you come here and play for a coach in that situation?
Which also means that no matter what, we're going to be looking in the same situation next year because we're not going to get any recruits. We're not going to get any coordinators. He's going to have to do more next year with even less.
Yeah. And there's no reason to think that he can.
No. I've not seen anything to make me think he could do any of that.
And, I mean, all the other SEC schools, except for Mississippi State, that did not make a bowl game, have fired their coach. Mark Stoops was just fired, and they've already hired a guy. I almost wish we had just fired him and tried to find someone.
Who did Kentucky hire?
What's that?
Who did Kentucky hire?
They got, I believe, Will Stein. I think he's Oregon's OC. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
So
that might not be bad.
Yeah. So I think I psyched myself out too much with how many jobs were open. But when I look at the schools that are doing well, when they hired the guys they hired, those weren't really top tier guys. Like, I don't know how many schools were fighting over Clark Lee or Signetti. So I kind of wish we had just done it, especially if Kentucky's willing to pay that buyout. And I know Stoops negotiated it to help them out. But if they're willing to pay that buyout for college football, how can we not come up with money to buy Shane out? That doesn't make any sense.
We could.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, you just, in this market, you don't have a clear guy to go after.
Yeah.
Especially at this point. But man, I don't know what to. You have to be looking at an OC somewhere or a DC somewhere, and just taking a risk. And it works out sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, because I think we're a better program than Kentucky. So could we have been in on Will Stein? I know Arkansas isn't happy with who they got.
Yeah, Arkansas hates that they got
Silverfield from Memphis.
Yeah, and they were protesting about it. Which, I mean, for Arkansas, I think that's a good hire.
Yeah.
I mean, Memphis has been at the top three of their league for the last few years. So, I mean, can he do it? It's a different animal in the SEC, though. So, yeah. Can he do it on that level? But I mean, he'll probably make them competitive.
Yeah. So it's tough. And Lebby wasn't fired at Mississippi State because he just got there last year.
Yeah. But he also has improved that team.
They are a much better team. 5 wins, almost made a bowl game.
They played hard. They played everyone hard.
Competitive. That's what we've been asking for. Can we look competent and competitive?
Yeah.
And we've done neither.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, but luckily we don't have to talk about him anymore.
Yep.
So
no bowl game.
Bon voyage to this year's Gamecock football captain's log. But we will be talking about more college football, so don't leave us. But not this week because we are done. So, Captain Petey, if someone wants to take a nice, lovely tour of the Low Country Seas with Morris Island Charters and the greatest captain that we know, how can they get a hold of you?
My website, morrisislandcharter.com. Call me, text me, 843-608-8006. Email me at morrisislandcharters@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram, I'm there. You can find me.
Yes, you can. All right. That will do it for this week. That won't do it for next week. We'll be back next week, but we can't be done with next week because we're still in this week. So that will do it for this week, and then we will see you next week.
Ahoy.
Yeah.